Fans of former President Donald Trump are making fun of Ron DeSantis over the size of his boots. Now, it all started when Politico reporter Derek Guy spoke to three footwear experts who dished about, Ron DeSantis's boots. So, look, apparently they think the guy's lifting. Lifting? What do you mean, lifting? Well, apparently padding his boots to make him look taller. Graham Ebner, an Austin, Texas-based cowboy bootmaker, tells Politico that he spots three giveaways in determining that DeSantis is likely wearing lifts. Okay, this is a ridiculous story all around, so bear with me on this. Now, he says the instep, the toe spring, and where the ball of the foot is sitting in the boots. Ebner argues that the instep on DeSantis' boots appears particularly steep, and he says that instead of the leather hugging the inside arch of his foot, as it should, it looks like his foot is being lifted up and stretching at the leather. That's one expert. Yeah, we have boot experts here. Zephan Parker, the bootmaker at the Houston, Texas-based Parker Boot Company, tells Politico that DeSantis is wearing lifts. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in his mind. Boy's lifting. He's lifting. Parker points to the size of the heels on DeSantis' boots as a dead giveaway that the Florida governor is wearing boosters. Additionally, Parker sees something off about the boots tops. Cowboy boots are made to fit snugly, explains Guy, but such a snug fit leaves little room for a wedge-shaped lift. So people who wear lifts often have to size up in width. This increases all the other measurements in tandem, including the circumference of the tops. So all of that is to say, this boy apparently making himself look taller. Why? Why would you want to wear lifts in your boots? I don't get it, but then again, I'm not an insecure person, okay? But hey, this is what the Republican Party has become. Are you padding your cowboy boots? How dare you? Now, the reporting apparently hit a nerve in the DeSantis campaign. They fired back, saying that, quote, the governor doesn't pad his boots. But if he ever needed anything to line a pet cage or fold up and wedge under a table leg, that would be the highest and best use for Politico magazine. Okay, this is funny all around. Hilarious. Now look, if that's not enough, okay, you get those three boot experts, but now MAGA weighs in, and it gets even funnier, starting with Don Jr.
How the top of the boot literally almost touches the bottom about 3 inches in. Like, that's just weird, folks. Say what you want. And there's those, oh, I can't believe you criticize him for wearing boots. No. I'm criticizing that mentality. It's that insecurity. Okay, if you're that insecure, if you're 5'7", whatever he is, like, own it, right? That insecurity on a world stage is not going to work out well for us. That's the kind of stuff that gets us into wars eventually. So I think it's important that we talk about it.
Yes, that's right. You heard it from Don Jr. Short people get us into wars. I mean, Napoleon. Checkmate. No. Again, ridiculous, right? Normally, I wouldn't listen to Don Jr. But, I think the guy, since he knows insecurity, think of it as like a personal experience with him. He knows insecurity, so he must know what he's talking about, right? I also don't disagree with what he's saying there, for the most part, It's just the ridiculousness of it. But there's more. Random X/Twitter users, not X-Twitter users, because, okay, I don't want to sit here and explain, because why did they rename it? Why did he rename it X? It's the most ridiculous thing. Twitter users, but on the platform of X, anyway, they piled on. There was a whole hashtag about it called Bootgate, which is great. One person named Matthew Wesley says, Bootgate is the biggest problem we face as a nation. I'll disagree, but okay. He says, who would vote for a guy who can't even own his own height? Pathetic. No. Okay, fair point. Marley says, a man that lies about his height will lie about anything. Take note, Bootgate is real. Lucky, the MAGA Hulk, says, Ron DeSantis would be the shortest president since James Madison. Running a short, sweaty man with a shrill voice would be electoral suicide. Hashtag Bootgate. Hey, this is the average MAGA person, everybody. This is what they think about. Steve says, I'm normally 6'3", but when I put on Ron DeSantis' shoes, I'm 6'6". Weird! Bootgate. And Conrad Stump said, Ron DeSantis is not 5'11". He's 5'8" or 5'9" on a good day. An embarrassment to short kings everywhere. And finally, Anonymous says, Bootgate, 5'5" is the new 5'11". Look, the whole thing is just dumb. It's so dumb, but it's funny. All right, seeing MAGA fight each other over the right wing, fight each other over this. I mean, it's great. It's fantastic. But there is a legit point. Okay, if you do have somebody who's lying about ridiculous things, such as how tall you are, and trying, I don't know. For me, it's like, trying to fake it. You're trying to fake something that you're not. In this case, tall. There's nothing wrong with being short. There just isn't. Just like there's nothing wrong with being bald. Own it, Tim Pool. So you only pad your boots or wear a beanie at all times if you think that there's something wrong with being short or bald. There's nothing wrong with either of them. Anyway, that said, it's also a good point where, if you have people that lie about these little things all the time and present themselves dishonestly, I mean, what makes you think they're not going to lie about bigger things? Right? I mean, we have an example of that. We have former President Donald Trump, who famously lied about the crowd size on Inauguration Day. I mean, we had 1.5 million people out there. No, you didn't. You had less than Obama. That's it. So you have, I have biggest crowds ever versus I'm not actually short. I mean, they're both terrible people who lie all the time about ridiculous things. But there it is. I mean, for me, I love it because you got the right wing that's ripping each other apart over stupid stuff. Great. Fun. Let them fight. Let them fight. Sit back, eat some popcorn, watch them rip each other apart.